Hello everyone, welcome to Ninomacaddis. Today we are going to see the summary of the prose, A Letter to God, written by Gregorio Lopez y Fuentes. So let's start. This story talks about a person named Lencho, and this person is having very great faith in God. Okay, so let's start. Lopez is a farmer living isolated in a hilly top, and he does farming. Lencho was expecting a good harvest this time, and for the good harvest he wanted the rain. So he prayed to God for some rain so that he could have a good harvest. He was expecting a good harvest this time, and he does receive some rainfall to settle his happiness. But soon there came a huge hailstorm which affected the harvest and destroyed every crop that year. Saddened by this adventure, Lencho goes out and looks to the God and says, "Why did you do this to me?" and writes a letter about how he was expecting the harvest, and he says, "It was because of you that I lost my harvest, and you have to give me 100 pesos so that I can do harvest the next time." He writes the letter, seals it, and posts it. The postman takes this letter, laughs like who at this century writes a letter to a god. He opens it, reads it, and laughs more at it. And he transfers this letter to the postmaster. He was a generous man, and he says, "It's okay, it's his situation that he has written in this letter. So, take this money, I only have 70 pesos, so take this, write a letter back, post it, and give it back to him." The next day, the postman gives the letter to Lencho. Lencho was very happy seeing the god has returned him money, but he has only given him 70 pesos. And he suspects the rest of the money was taken by this postman. Okay, so now what happens? This Lencho writes a letter again saying, "You should hand over the money directly to me." Why? Because there are so many people around who are a bunch of crooks. So here ends the story, A Letter to God. In this story, there is 3 major things which the writer is bringing in forward for you. The first, the firm faith in God. He says, if you truly believe something, the world will give it back to you in some way or the other. Second, the utter innocence of this farmer, that he has actually believed the money was given by the God. And the third, if you truly give something to someone without any other intentions, even then the people might say you something wrong. You cannot expect what you are giving to someone else, and you may be misunderstood as a bunch of crooks. So here ends the summary of the chapter or the prose, The Letter to God. Okay, so here whenever you write an answer, you should remember, you should start writing with the writer's name. Okay, address what the question is asking and write according to the marks. Okay, so let's see some important questions regarding this chapter. So the first question is, why did Lencho say the raindrops were like new coins? There were actually 2 reasons why Lencho said they are gold coins. The first one, they were as bright as the gold coins. And the second reason is the thought that these rain will give him a good harvest, and in return he will earn money. Who does Lencho have complete faith in? Which sentence in the story tell you this? Lencho has complete and unshaken faith in God. He hopes that God will help him and his family from dying of starvation. So he writes a letter to God and says, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes sees everything, and tells this. Why does the postmaster send money to Lencho? Why does he sign the letter God? As we have explained in the summary, the postmaster was a generous person. He always thought that whatever he has is within his humanity. And when he sees the letter and reads that that is the last hope that the Lencho is having, he thought, whatever I have, it should be shared with him so that he should not die of starvation. And he decides to send money to him. He signs the letter God so that it may assure Lencho that the money has already been given to him by God. There are two kinds of conflict in the story, between human and nature and between human themselves, that is human to human. How are these conflict illustrated here? Actually, there are two illustrations that are given in the story. First is nature, human to nature and nature to human. How? Because the rain was expected by the human, right? The Lencho was actually expecting for the rain for a good harvest, but what did the nature do? It actually gave a few raindrops as a new gold coin, but soon there was a hailstorm which destroyed the entire harvest. So this is the first conflict. And the second one is, seeing the situation of the Lencho, the postmaster decided to give him 70 pesos, right? But what did the person, the Lencho, says? Lencho is not happy that he got 70 pesos, but he thinks that the 30 extra pesos what that has been given by the God is being taken by this postman. So this is a conflict which is arising from a man, that is from the human to a human. Now I am going to give you some self-assessment questions, and if you are not able to answer any of these questions or if you have any other questions, do comment it below. So let's see the self-assessment questions. Share this video with your friends, classmates, and don't forget to subscribe.